Okay, so once you open the Microsoft Excel file, which is a blank workbook, alright, I want you guys to click on B4. This is where we're going to put our title for our workbook. So this one, I want you guys to type in here, click on B4 and type bowling tournament. All the data, we assume that all the data is actually taken from a bowling tournament game where they have 3 rounds and we have 5 team for the bowling tournament. Alright, so next, let us create a new simple table where it just starts from B6, right? So this is going to be our table header. We have number in column B, we have team name in column C, and then we have here score round 1 for column D, score round 2 for column E, and score round 3 for column F. And in column G is that we're going to have our total score for each team, where we're going to total up all the score from round 1, 2 and 3, and later we're going to see more functions where we're going to see the average, minimum and maximum. Alright, so in order for you to resize your column or your rows, right, it is where you can just move your cursor here in between of these two, and then you just click, hold, don't release your mouse, click and hold, and drag it to the left or right in order for you to resize. For this case, we want to make it a bit bigger, then you scroll, you click and drag it to the right. The same goes for column D, E and F, alright? Or you can also double click this line where it will give you the most maximum length based on the text or the data that you have entered in this particular column. Alright, another one tips is that you might want to fix the column width for each of this column. So in order for you to fix the column width, you can either select, let's say for example, I just want to set for column D, right click and then choose column width, right? And then for the column width, you can just set the points. Let's say for example, I want it to make it fixed for 15 points and then click OK. So it gives you all the 15. You can also set for all these 3 columns with 15 points. So in order for you to do so, you don't have to do one by one. You can just select from D, column D. You just move your cursor or mouse here, click and drag to the right to do the selection, alright? And then right click anywhere on this column here and choose column width. So this is where you can set a fixed value for all this selected column. For example, you put 15, then you click OK. Then all the columns in D, E, F, where you have selected earlier, will set to 15. Alright? So now we're going to have few columns, right? And rows. So for now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 columns, and we're going to have few rows, depends on how many team that participate in our bowling tournament. For this exercise, we're going to have 5 teams only. So start from C7 until C11. I want you guys to type all the 5 teams, which is team A, team B, team C and team D in column C. So next is that we're going to set the border. Since we have the basic already, the size of your table, so we're going to set all of this border to the table. In order for you to set the table border, we're going to use tools from here. But before that, I want you guys to select all the table from, for this case is from B6 until G11. From B6 until G11. How to select it? Very simple. Click on B6. When you click on B6, don't release your mouse. Click and drag it to the right, which is until cell G11, and release your mouse. Now, in order for you to set the table border, Alright, what you need to do is just go to the under home tab, go to this particular icon. This is where we're going to set the border. For this case, we're going to use all borders option. So click on this border option. Then you will have your table border, where the basic table border by default, it gives you this thin line with black color. Actually, you can choose more options, more colors, and more types of line, right? Line styles. But this one, I guess you guys can explore it later. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set the table border, table header, where we're going to set the color for the table header, and as well as the text formatting. So I want you guys to highlight from B6 until G6, right, where we're going to select all these rows. Please be careful. You might mistakenly click on this particular area. When you click this row, it means the whole row in row 6 is selected. Then if you color it, it means the whole rows, right, even though you scroll it to the right, you get all rows in yellow color. This is not what we're going to have. Alright, I just want the table header for this border, for this table, which is from B6 until G6. So just click, right, and hold, don't release your mouse, and drag it to the right, which is G6. Alright, first we're going to set some color, fill up the colors for this cell. So you just look up for this icon, pin bucket icon, under home tab, right, and then you just choose any color available here. If you want to choose any certain particular colors, you can always click more colors, where you will have more options, either through the standard palettes, or you can just use these custom colors. You can look for certain exact colors by either entering the data or the value for RGB colors or HSL color. Alright, it depends on you guys, but for this case, let us just remain using this basic colors. Alright, so I want you guys to just choose blue color here, and since the blue color here is very dark, you might want to change the text color. So in order for you to change the text color to make it more readable, still make sure you select all the columns here, right, for this row, which is from B6 until G6. Make sure you have the selection, and you go to this font icon. Click this small arrow, and then we're going to choose white color, so it is more visible. For the table header, normally we set it to bold, right, and make it center. Now let's resize the row. Just move your cursor here, click, hold, don't release your mouse, and drag it to the bottom so that you get more heights. Alright, the same concept like what you did just now for columns, where you just right click here if you have specific row height that you want to set. Alright, so let's say let us just remain as it is. Alright, for now my row height is 33. Now next is that I'm going to teach you guys how to have a multiple lines in Excel. First, double click in the cell, which is G6. Make sure your cursor is here, and then we are going to press alternate enter instead of enter. In Microsoft Word or PowerPoint or other application or other software, you just press enter as you want to set, or if you want to make it, or if you want to move it to the new line. But it is a different story in Excel, where you need to use alternate, right, this key, and enter. Right, then only you will get a new line in Excel. Okay, let me repeat. You hold down the alternate enter, hold it down, and then you press enter. Right, hold LT or alternate key, hold down, and press enter. Then you will have two lines. Before I proceed with the score, the data in score, and how to use a function, let me teach you guys how to set the numbering, where in Excel is quite easy and convenient because Excel can detect or identify patterns. For example, let's say you have all these 5 rows, Alright, manually if you write it down one by one, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Just imagine if you have multiple rows, for example you have tens or maybe perhaps hundreds or even thousands of data. Alright, it is quite troublesome for you to write it or to set all the numbering manually. So in Excel you can do it automatically because basically Excel can see patterns. Alright, so let me just delete all the numbers just now. What you need to do is click on B7. Alright, write down 1 and 2. Alright, as long as you have these two patterns, you just now need to highlight these two, click and hold down, alright, and drag it to the bottom so that you are now you are selecting these two cells. Alright, now as you can see here, you see this green dot button. You can just click and drag it to the bottom and it will just automatically give you all the numbers, right, based on the pattern numbers here, right? Or the other way around is that once you select these two cell, where it will help the Microsoft Excel to recognize what are the patterns that they want to start, instead of you click and drag it to the bottom, you can also just double click this green dot. Right, so now I will just double click and it will automatically just, list down all the automatic numbers, series of numbers based on the table that you have, based on the data, the last data that you have in that particular rows. Next, what you need to do is to just fill up all the score round, alright, all the score for all the 3 rounds. And then next we're going to just explore the function, the basic function and formulas. Starting from D7, you just key in all of these numbers. Alright, make sure it is the same because later on I'm going to explore a sum function so that whatever numbers that I got here is tally with yours. So that then you know you are using the correct functions and the correct step. So stay tuned for the next video for the function and formulas, and that's it. Bye guys.